Until the federal government steps in to save them, farmers have no one to turn to but God.
Farmers, in my opinion, dear Lord, and it's only my opinion, they're closer to thee than anyone else on this earth because we deal with your earth every day. Dear Lord, we're hurting, dear Lord. We can't help what's happened to us.
I've never been as worried as I am now about whether or not my kids and grandkids will be able to carry on.
He said, I love you, Mr. Trump. I need to see the fruit of your love.
5 of my customers have committed. That's how serious that this is.
And what it costs for us to farm is astronomical now.
I farm with paid-for equipment. All my tractors are 50 years old, and I can't hardly make this deal work. I think the tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm.
After a horrible year last year where most farmers in Arkansas Delta lost money, this year's going to be worse.
We made a decision to go out this year in the spring. So my son will not be the 7th generation on our farm.
We're going to lose 25 or 30% of the farmers in this country if they don't do something. It has to be done, and it's not just here. It's everywhere.
And it's so bad that many are facing bankruptcy or even the closure of farms that have been passed down for generations. A dismal global market and plunging commodity prices mean there's little to no hope of breaking even for many farmers, even as sky-high input costs rise because of inflation and now tariffs.
This time last year, the rice price was about 40% higher than it is now. The inputs costs have gone up. So after a horrible year last year where most farmers in Arkansas Delta lost money, this year's going to be worse.
Good people, I believe all of you are doing well and fine today. For those who are new here and it's your first time watching this video, I'm Marvin, and please and kindly feel free to hit the subscribe icon below and follow my page. If you find this video educative, of value and of essence, you can as well share to family and friends. With the first video you have just watched, you can clearly get to understand the subject matter, and our focus will be in Arkansas, where white farmers are busy blaming the government for their losses in their farms. They now want layoffs to them because they feel they are going to be bankrupt in the next coming days. Arkansas is a town where they voted for Donald Trump. That means it is a red estate or town. Many people voted for Donald J. Trump, but they were warned, but they didn't listen at all. In the Joe Biden's era, clearly, Biden used to keep upper hand for farmers. He used to give farmers an upper hand when it comes to disaster management. Biden put these farmers first. Now Trump clearly shows you how he doesn't care about farmers at all, because I believe he will send aid to farmers come next year. How will the farmers wait till next year so that they can be back to their farms and produce their products? Also, in a recent report by the US government, 22,000 jobs were added into the US economy. This also shows you how the inflation rate in United States of America is increasing. The job market should vary with the number of employment rates. 3,000 people lost their job, particularly the black women, and it's only 22,000 jobs that are added into the economy by the US government. Trump is there to enrich himself. He clearly doesn't care about the people who voted in for him. This is a perfect FAFO moment for Arkansas farmers because they were warned, but they didn't listen to the advice they were told. Now they are reaping what they sow. This will not come to an end anytime soon because Trump is busy looking into matters that doesn't affect the people in America, particularly the farmers in Arkansas. Farmers in Arkansas clearly want to start a war, and they believe that the black people will want to join them. This also shows you how white farmers in Arkansas use black people so that they can join hands with them and protest the government of Trump. Remember, this fight is not for the black family. Let them fight their own fight because they started it. Yes, Let's watch the following videos I've compiled for you people, and we'll come back at the end and discuss methods and how this US government, the Trump administration, will clearly help the farmers in Arkansas because they really depend on their products. Arkansas has a great number of soybeans which they greatly import. Now they are going bankrupt and now they are blaming Trump. It is what they got for. They voted for it. Now let them enjoy the fruits of their voting. Let's watch the following videos.
If you're a farmer from Arkansas and you voted for Donald Trump, thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers are all I can offer you because you knew what you were voting for. You fucked around and you're finding out and you're losing your farms. Do I feel bad? Of course I feel bad, but actions have consequences. You knew what the orange man was for. All Donald Trump knows is bankruptcies. What do you think he was going to do for you? For all of you? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Donald Trump just thinks of himself. That's it. Nobody else. When he doesn't need you anymore, he'll let you go. You're disposed. You're like trash. That's what you are to him. And I hope I don't see any of you farmers on TV asking the government for help, for a bailout, for social programs, for loan forgiveness, because that's not what you stand for, right? That's not what you believe, especially loan forgiveness. No, right? Correct? I hope I don't see any of you guys begging the government for help. You did this to yourself. Actions have consequences. And for those farmers that didn't vote for Donald Trump, I feel sorry for all of you guys. I'm sorry you guys are going through this. I really am. I really am.
So the people who say no handouts just lined up for a handout. Now tell me why farmers in Arkansas are standing outside with their hands out again, begging Uncle Sam for money. See, when it's regular people struggling, rent too high, groceries too ridiculous, can't afford health care, the answer is always from these people: stop complaining, stop asking for handouts, and pull yourself up by your bootstrap. Farmers in Arkansas are crying out to the feds for stimulus money like it's open mic night. And look, I get it, because times are hard everywhere. When you plant your crops, raise your cattle, take on the risks of farming, wasn't that a personal business decision? So why is it on me and you to make sure that that decision keeps paying out? Because see, when you and I make bad decisions, government doesn't cut us a check to make it right for us. Now, let's connect the dots here a little bit. These are the same people voting for the same politicians who say government is the problem. Yet as soon as the tractors stop running and their profits dry up, government magically turns into a solution for them. Ain't that funny and ironic? The question is, do we owe farmers any help? Or do they need to practice what they preach? Figure it out. Tighten that belt. Leave taxpayers out of it. Because last I checked, it's really not our problem to fix somebody else's gamble.
To all my farmer neighbors, my name is Susie, and I live in rural Missouri. You were warned over and over and over. We told you there was no drag queen story hour. There were no furries in our school using litter boxes. But you guys refused to call the superintendent of the schools like I did. I called Rolla Public Schools and asked Dr. Dare if there was any truth to that. He laughed and said maybe I was watching too much TV. We told you that China signed 20-year contracts with Brazil for soybeans. You laughed in our face. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I do not want to bail you out for the next 20 years, and I will fight against it. China signed 20-year contracts with Brazil for soybeans because of Donald J. Trump. They don't want our soybeans. They don't want our beef. They don't want our wheat. They don't want anything we grow. As far as we're concerned, China can stick it up our ass. And can you blame them? Can you really blame them?
So I saw that the soybean farmers in the state of Arkansas are having a find out phase. And you know what I hate to say? I told you so. No, seriously, I'm really sick and tired of the fact that the left keeps having to say, I told you so. Because we didn't want anybody to suffer, okay? We voted for everybody to survive and thrive. And you voted for the suffering of other people, and here we are. You are actually the one who is paying the price and suffering. Because you can't sell your soybeans to China because what's that? Tariffs. You can't get that new farming equipment that you needed because of why? Tariffs. Didn't the experts tell you that? Didn't people warn you this would happen? But no, you let your internalized hate, racism, and misogyny override literal facts that were right there in front of your face that made you vote against your own best interests. And here you are, expecting a government bailout yet again. But you didn't want anybody else to get government bailouts. That's socialism, and you don't like that. So what makes you so different and so deserving when you voted against government money going to anybody who has stumbled upon a hard time? Why do you get it? What makes you better than other people? Again, I don't like that we are having to say, I told you so. Okay, I wanted you to do well. I wanted you to survive and thrive. But this is what you voted for.
Yo, in today's episode of As the White Hood Turns. So, we've all heard that the job numbers came in, right? And only 22,000 jobs were added. And we all know Syphilitic Sid has said that maybe there won't be any numbers for at least 2, maybe 3 years until we can, get the numbers right. Whatever that means. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. Did y'all see them farmers in Arkansas who are now begging Syphilitic Sid to help them? They are asking for a bailout. And I don't understand if they don't understand that a bailout is basically welfare for farmers. Now, mind you, I got no issues with farmers, right? Because without them, we wouldn't have, cabbages, broccoli, whatever, vegetables, right? Right, green beans, vegetables, tomatoes, whatever. But the fact that these people all voted overwhelmingly for Syphilitic Sid, now they're asking him to bail them out. And you know what he said? We're going to have to see how it goes. Because, there are more important issues. Like that $200 million ballroom. And that plane, apparently, that they still are trying to figure out what to do with that and how to renovate it, So, one man even said that his farm has been in his family for 3 generations. And he will not be able to leave his farm to his kids. Because if they don't get help, and soon, they're not going to have a farm. I want to feel bad. I promise you I do. And I do. But damn it, this is what you voted for. So I kind of got to be like, yay, for you. Maybe not for your kids who ain't going to inherit no farm. But there's plenty of kids ain't inheriting nothing. That was uncalled for. But you know what I'm saying. Okay, bye.
Still here with me. God bless you. God protect America. And God forsake you from all hatred from within. And also, let Donald Trump also see the future of farmers in Arkansas. With the videos we have just watched, we can clearly get to a conclusion that Trump really doesn't care about people in Arkansas. He clearly cares about his own pocket. A large number of people voted for the red team, the Trump era, while the blue people got a lesser number in the ballot. Kamala Harris clearly would have helped farmers because he is a great leader. She could have listened to the cries of white farmers in Arkansas. farmers will not be crying like they are right now if Kamala Harris was the president or the deputy president in America. This also shows you how this is not good at all. These farmers need to get layoffs, they need to get support from the government, but Trump clearly is giving them a FAFO moment, a perfect FAFO moment in their farms. I believe in Arkansas. It is a generation wealth. When you die, you leave it to your family. Another family member takes upon the farm, but up to now, the farmers in Arkansas feel like their generation wealth in farming will surely come to an end if they go bankrupt. They are getting what they saw. They were warned, they didn't listen to the warnings they were told by the black people. Blacks are always right. They warned them, they didn't listen. Now they want the black people to join hands and help them fight this war. Remember, black folks, this is not your war. Don't join hands in this war. I believe Arkansas greatly supplies soybeans. With the recent tariff wars with China and the United States of America, China signed a 20-year contract with Brazil for the import of soybeans. Now, China doesn't care about the fresh produce of soybeans from America. Also, Trump also needs to lower the tariffs now. He needs to come in hand and be at good terms with China government, because I believe people in Arkansas, the farmers, clearly were getting more money when they were selling their produce to China. But China clearly is telling America, we can do without you. We have other ways of getting soybeans, and that's why we have chosen Brazil. Now see the way how Arkansas farmers are facing danger, and I believe most of them will lose their farms. Most of them will have to sell their farms so that they don't go bankrupt. I would like to know your response to this episode. What are the ways you feel needs to be uplifted so that these farmers in Arkansas get what they want? They want layoffs. They want the governments to give them money. I would like to know what you think about this episode. Is this a war Trump is starting within the Arkansas community? Also, Trump also needs to take care of people who are farming, because farming injects more money into the economy and it stabilizes the economy. Let me know your response and I will humbly respond to you people. See you on the next episode, and remember, don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and I will like to know what you think. See you on the next episode, family, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.